Hello, welcome to No Expense Spent. I'm your host, Angel, and here we do cars and we do crafts, and we have recently moved house. Yeah, we've moved from Kent in the southeast all the way up to North Lincolnshire, and I am very grateful to the friends that helped this happen. If you saw a recent video on a bit of a life update, you'll know what's happened, what's caused the move. But don't panic, things here aren't going to change too much. It's just going to take me a little bit of time to get resettled back into my routines and get these regular videos coming out for you. There are some big important changes that are getting in my way a little bit at the moment, and let's go into what those are. The biggest change, which you will have seen, is obviously the house move itself, which means I'm in a completely new environment. I am living in a shared house, and it's fine. I'm perfectly happy with the setup here. I have a slightly bigger room to myself, which is nice, but it's taken me a little bit of time to figure the layout and to get everything as it needs to be. Luckily, there's a few improvements, like I have a dedicated sewing room now because my housemate is also quite keen on sewing, so we'll be helping each other out with that. That does mean there's more sewing videos to come. I don't know whether or not my housemate's going to be on camera. I've not asked them to, and they've not expressed an interest, but if that changes, then we'll see that in the future. For now, I do have some sewing projects to come, but it's going to be later. I am trying to find time for things. Before I get into the car updates, that's what most of you are here for after all, just a little bit of self-promotion because that is important. I'm back into rented accommodation, so my cost of living has gone up a bit. I need my income to do the same. Probably the best way to support me, if you can, is going to be Patreon. There is a link down in the description below for that and all the other ways you can support me. I'm going to be putting more content on there, so when people are subscribed, there is definitely going to be something to see. I'm going to be putting videos up on there so that they're ad-free, and I will also hopefully be doing some artwork that is Patreon exclusive to begin with, so an early access sort of thing, and everybody who's on the Patreon will be able to vote on what I create. They'll also get early access to the original artwork if it's traditional media. And then, of course, the prints will come later. That's on Redbubble, again, down in the description. And that will be open to everybody after a period of time of it being on Patreon. I know not everybody's keen on paywalls, but I've got to earn a living somehow, and this is how I have to do it. If Patreon isn't your thing, but you would still like to support me financially, as I've just mentioned, there is the Redbubble shop, where there's a ton of printed designs. And I've also got a Ko-fi account, which I've set up specifically as a tip jar if you just want to make a one-off donation of any amount, just to say thanks for the content, or helping me out, or whatever. With that said, there is no obligation for you to send me any money. It would just be appreciated and would just help offset the costs of making videos, my time, my materials, all that stuff. If you can't do that, or don't wish to do that, subscribing, commenting, liking, any sort of interaction with the videos, that would definitely help. Helps the channel grow. Right, self-promotion out the way, let's talk about the cars. Regular viewers of the Maestro series will know that car has been sold. I've mentioned this a couple of times. I do occasionally get messages asking me when there's going to be another update on it. There isn't. I have sold the car, it's gone to a new owner who, as far as I'm aware, is very happy with it, and that is it. There will be no more of that Maestro on this channel, probably. You never know, I might meet it at a show or something in the future, but as for dedicated content of me working on it as my car, yeah, we won't get any more of that. The Princess, that is now my sole transport. I do not have a backup vehicle. I do have access to backup vehicles. I have a friend who is happy to loan me a car if it turns out the Princess breaks in an interesting way or something. But for everyday use, for everything I need to do, the Princess is it. That's my car. And this year I am going to be focusing on sorting out all of the little problems that I've got with it, and hopefully some of the longer standing issues that I would like to resolve. They're not MOT issues or safety issues, they're just things that I would like to be better on it. You know, things like the paint. But I will keep you updated on that as it progresses. There are some Princess videos to come that were recorded a while ago, but they've not yet escaped the editing queue because of the Maestro videos. The last car then is the Lanchester. I do still part own the Lanchester. Pat and I decided that we were going to keep that as a joint project. The Lanchester is staying down south with Pat. This is a very practical consideration. I don't have anywhere to keep it up here, and I certainly don't have the resources to be working on it alongside everything else I'm having to deal with at the moment. So we decided that the best course of action is leave the Maestro down south with Pat. He's very keen on the car, he doesn't want to sell it, which is brilliant, and he's now project lead. So he will make whatever progress he can on it. Obviously that could take a while because he's having to rejig all of his life stuff just as I am, and the Lanchester, the priority is just check it so we're not getting, you know, little nibbly creatures getting in there and that sort of thing. But it is safe, it is out the way, and I will be revisiting that. I will be going down to see Pat because we are still friends, and sometimes I will be going down to work on Lanchester to help him with certain jobs, especially things like bodywork, which is more my area than his. He's made a couple of new contacts, so hopefully he can make some progress on things like the wiring jobs and just general bits and pieces that it needs. Lanchester video is probably going to be the next car video because that's what's in the editing queue at the moment. So watch this space and do subscribe if you don't want to miss out. The reason I haven't been putting much out is I simply haven't had the energy. Moving house, it's been about a 200-mile move, has wiped me out. I've had to rejig everything. I'm a self-employed full-time artist, so if I'm not working, I'm not earning. That means that I had to take as little time off as possible while also moving house, and YouTube's the thing that contributes the least to my income, so therefore YouTube was the thing I put on hold. That's probably going to be the case for a while. This channel is tiny, we are well below the payment threshold, and from what I gather from other channels at the moment, the ad revenue from YouTube is pretty poor. So those other ways of supporting me down in the description are probably more important than ever, because I don't think I'm going to be able to rely on YouTube as a reliable part of my regular income. Doesn't mean I don't want to do the videos and I don't want to do the updates. It's as much a hobby as anything else, and I do enjoy sharing the info. I love getting the comments and the feedback from people, especially if anything I've put out there has helped anybody. That's my main drive. I want these videos to be useful, and I want people to enjoy learning stuff and helping me learn stuff as well, because I do learn things from your comments. I think I've run out of things to say. I am hoping this year I can get out to some shows and get my face out there a bit more. But we will see. At the moment my main focus is keep my little business running, keep my head above water, get all of these moving expenses paid for and cleared up, and then get back into the routine again. Please do subscribe and keep an eye on the channel here. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get back into the weekly upload schedule again, but I will do my best to make sure it's sooner rather than later. It all depends on how much time and how much energy I have available. Thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for supporting the channel, and hopefully I will see you next time, which will be Tuesday at 3 p.m. I just don't know which Tuesday.